Hey, hi, hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and I am here, obviously from the thumbnail, to make my guesses, predictions for the books that will be nominated for the 2022 Goodreads Choice Awards. I think that the voting is going to start for the opening round tomorrow, so I wanted to get my video out quickly. Well, tomorrow after you're watching this. If you're watching this on Monday, November 15th, 14th, I think the voting opens November 15th. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, so I have guesses. They're not for every category because I usually don't vote in every category. But even this year, I just feel like I'm out of touch, or I just don't know a lot of books in every category. So some that I normally would vote in, I'm like, I don't even know. So all of them obviously may not be accurate because this is just me guessing. A lot of it is from popularity, because it is a popularity contest, we know. So I'm just going off of ones I've heard of or seen a lot on the bookternet, and we'll see which ones make it into the nominations, and then I'll probably do a video on which ones I'll make it to the final or something. I'll have to look at my old video, I forgot. But any whoosies, I'll probably just be throwing the photo of the book up here. I don't have a lot of deep commentary to say about most of them, and I didn't look at all of their Goodreads counts of like how many reviews they had, I think, which helps because obviously popularity. But oh my God, did that book come out this year? Hold on, I just gotta write one down that came out this year. So starting with fiction. So fiction usually ends up being literary fiction, which I don't read a lot of, and I really don't know what releases came out this year. So I just wrote down a few, and I really got these from, I heard about one, and then the other ones I know have been Book of the Month picks, which also helps books become nominated for the Goodreads Awards, like Book of the Month and like Reese's Book Club, Oprah Book Club. So for literary fiction, I am guessing that Black Cake is going to be nominated simply because it was a Book of the Month pick. To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara, even though I heard some things about that. Vladimir, I don't know what this one is about, but it came up when I said literary fiction. So I don't know if that's a historical fiction or if this is just a literary fiction. Really not sure. Tomorrow, The School for Good Mothers. Now this one, sometimes it depends on what Goodreads categorizes it at, or like which category wins. So You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akweke Emezi, I think is a romance, but I'm not sure if it's like really a category romance, so that's why I put it here. But I know a lot of people read and enjoyed that book this year, so I feel like if it's not in fiction, then it may be in romance, just because I did hear a lot about that title, but I'm not sure. Literary fiction is just not my bag, so those are my very loose predictions. I know nothing about any of those books. Now on to mystery thriller. I've heard of a lot more of these. However, have I read any of these? I don't think so. So some of these, like I didn't even write down the author here, but I'm putting up the image of the book. One of the Girls, which might be, yep, I don't even know the author. The Overnight Guest. This one I think had a lot of Goodreads, like people adding it on Goodreads. The Younger Wife. Now, The Maid by Nita Prose, I've heard of a lot this year. Not everyone loved it, but I have heard this book mentioned in a lot of people's reading, like TBRs or wrap-ups. I've seen it a lot of places, so I definitely think The Maid will make it. The Paris Apartment. I forgot if this is Lucy Foley or if it's one of those names where I'm like, oh yeah, they release a mystery thriller book every year, so it's probably gonna be on the list. It has one of those covers, you know. One of those covers. I didn't write down not Alex Finley. What's that man's name that I don't like? Who wrote I read one of his books this year. I'm gonna put it right here. The Lake House dude, what's his name? Riley Sager. You know his dry ass is gonna be up there. I hope it does not win, but I would be shocked if his book was not nominated. We have The Reckless Girls by Rachel Hawkins, I think, which I definitely have seen around. I also wrote down The Night Shift, which is by Alex Finley, which he had a popular one come out last year, so I'm assuming this one will be up there as well. The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I don't know if that's technically a mystery thriller or if it's horror, although I think it'll probably be a mystery thriller because on the Book of the Month website, it said thriller or it said mystery. It said one of those. And so simply because it's Simone St. James, already popular, Book of the Month, that's definitely going to be up there. And I saw 9 Lives by Peter Swanson. That's just a popular author. Like I hear his name quite a bit, so I'm assuming he's gonna make it. And then I know Ruth Ware had a book come out this year, It Girl, I think it's called. So it just is like, these are names you hear about. They're definitely going to be nominated. Now the rest of them, I forget how many books get nominated for each category, but I'm pretty solid on most of those. And then also Finley Donovan, Knocks 'Em Dead might also make it in there. Historical fiction, I feel, wow. I go through waves where I'm like, oh yes, historical fiction, and I have not been in that mood for a while. And also this year, Kristen Hanna did not release a book. I don't think so. Nor did Taylor Jenkins Reid, which are like 2 of the more popular ones that have been releasing historical fiction books lately. So a lot of these, again, I was like, oh yeah, I saw that for Book of the Month. Take My Hand, which is one I do want to read, was a Book of the Month book that's categorized as historical fiction, Lessons in Chemistry. I'm sure Leanna would be excited about that one. The Tobacco Wives, I believe. Women of Light, The Paris Bookseller, and Peach Blossom Spring. Besides Lessons in Chemistry and Take My Hand, I don't know anything about the other ones, haven't heard of them, but they just look like things that might be nominated in historical fiction. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wait. Is the Carrie Soto book considered historical fiction? Because I just forgot about that. Hold up. I'm lying. Because if Carrie Soto is back, is considered historical fiction, then Taylor Jenkins Reid definitely is going to be nominated and she's going to win. Let's go ahead and just be honest. Wow, I can't believe I forgot that. But I don't think Kristen Hanna released one this year, but correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, fantasy. Now, I feel like this is the one where I know I'm familiar with most of the books. Have I read most of these? Also, no. But that's not the point. So the final Strife, I don't know how many ads that it has on Goodreads, but I have seen it a lot. It did get some special editions, which I think also increases the chance of a book being nominated. Daughter of the Moon Goddess, also one I've seen a lot. Beautiful cover, some special editions. Babel, of course. Of course, by R.F. Kuang. Now, this book is terrible and shouldn't be nominated for anything but Book of Night by Holly Black. You know it's going to be on there. It had 1 million editions. It has a lot of ads on Goodreads. It's terrible, but it's going to make it. Now, Kai Kei, apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, I think is also one I heard a lot about the first half of the year. That's like a Greek retelling, reimagining. I think that would be considered fantasy. So I would not be surprised to see that one there. The Stardust Thief, I don't know if a lot of people read it, but it did get a couple different special editions. I think it was a Book of the Month option. And Orbit is a pretty popular publisher, so that might be on there. I did read that one. I didn't love it. I did like it, but I'm interested for the next one. So I think that can make it. Let's see. Fevered Star, I feel like it could make it because it was a very anticipated release, even if it fell flat for a lot of people, me included. So I'm thinking that Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse is gonna make it. Nettle and Bone, I've been hearing a lot about, so I'm thinking that might make it on there. Now, the cutoff date is literally Tuesday the 15th. Like the book has to come out then, I think. I don't think it has to make it before then. So The Lost Metal by Brandon Sanderson literally comes out on Tuesday. So if that counts, that will definitely be on there. Even though that's the 4th in the second part, like a second series, it's definitely going to be in there. And then the one I forgot about, just like I forgot about Carrie Soto by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I forgot about Sarah Janet and her House of Bated Breath, or The House of Skies and Sorrows, or whatever those books are, you know, the Crescent City books. I'm pretty sure that other one came out, the Ugly Blue one came out in February. So you know that's gonna be in the fantasy category. Was the other one in the fantasy category or in the romance category? See, I don't know because they don't keep nothing consistent. But if she's in the fantasy category, no one stands a chance, and it's corrupt. I hate it. I hate it so much. Now, romance. I know a lot of these romance titles. I've read a good many of these romance titles, and this one, I feel like it's really going to be between, I feel like there's going to be a three-way three-way three-way, not like tie, but like it's gonna be close, between Book Lovers by Emily Henry, Love on the Brain by Allie Hazelwood, and It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. Like that, those are some big hitters, but with the fans that Coho has, I think Coho might take it. Because what was the one last year by Allie Hazelwood? Like that one took, you know, TikTok and everything by storm. And Love on the Brain still has a lot of ratings, but It Starts With Us was like, I don't know. Colleen Hoover's on another wavelength right now, so I think she could take it. But in addition, there are some other ones that came out this year. Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey came out earlier this year. I did love that one. Dating Dr. Dill, which I didn't love. I liked it, but it also was a book of the month pick. So very strong chances there. Delilah Green Doesn't Care, very popular one that came out earlier this year. The sequel is coming out, but I think it comes out after the cutoff date. So Delilah Green, I think, has a strong chance of making it. I also put on here American Royalty, Husband Material, and Weather Girl. I have seen those everywhere. I have Husband Material and I need to read it, but I don't know how many actually like people actually have read them. And then I did write down Something Wilder by Christina Lauren because they're a very popular duo. Even though I DNF Something Wilder, I think it's very possible that it's going to be nominated, but I still think Book Lovers, Love on the Brain, and It Starts With Us are going to be the top 3 contenders, and it's going to be very interesting to see those numbers at the end. Sci-fi, did not read a lot of sci-fi this year. I know Nona the Ninth came out, which is a very niche series. I think it's the 3rd in the Locked Tomb series by, you know, I can't think of their name right now. Dead Silence was one I did read. I don't know if it's going to be in like sci-fi or horror category or even thriller, because I feel like you could classify it as a lot of those, but I'm saying sci-fi because it basically was like, you seen the movie Ghost Ship, but it was in space. So sci-fi or horror, I think it would be between these two, but I really liked that one, so I hope to see it nominated. The Memory Librarian, I'm assuming, would be nominated. Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel definitely is going to be up there. Goliath by Tochi Onyebuchi. Now, see, the name, his name alone, I think he might be nominated. I don't know if a lot of people read Goliath though, because they're intimidated. And by them, I mean me. I'm intimidated to read Goliath. So I don't know, but there's a possibility. The Blood Trials, maybe. I don't know. The Kaiju Preservation. I have seen this book a lot of places. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but it's by John Scalzi. So I'm like, okay, there's probably a good chance that a lot of people read it and it'll make it. How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. Now, I read this one and really enjoyed it. I know not a lot of people loved it, but it was, I don't know. The numbers thing is so weird because sometimes you have a book in the category that has like 90,000 people reviewed it on Goodreads, and then the next one has like 7,000. So I don't know, but those are just my guesses. But again, I did not read much sci-fi this year. I just read, out of this list, I read 2. So I don't know. I will just say, I think Sea of Tranquility is a given. That's gonna be up there. Then I have horror, which again, did not read any of these, but there were a few that stood out. Hacienda, which again, book of the month pick. The Pallbearers Club, Paul Tremblay, popular name, like popular author, so I'm assuming it's gonna make it. What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. A lot of people read that one this year, so did I. Disappointed. So I wouldn't be surprised to see what on here. Sundial by Catriona Ward, who was nominated last year for The House on Needle Street or something. Anyway, Sundial, saw a lot of people talking about that one, so I think that will be up there, but those are the only ones that I really like recognized. There's probably other ones I'm not thinking about. You know what I just realized? I was gonna say Stephen King, but Stephen King released a fantasy book this year, I think. Isn't it called like Fantasy or something? Stephen King, what was it called? So now I'm like, ooh, if it's Stephen King might give Sarah Janet a run for her money, but I don't know. I don't think he released a horror novel this year, but I could be wrong. Grady Hendrix didn't release a horror novel this year. So yeah, those are the only ones I kind of recognized. Now in nonfiction, I am so sad that I'm so out of the loop this year as well. My rating has just been wah, wah, wah. But these were basically, I was looking at a list and I was just looking at the amount of reviews it had, and I really only know of one of these. I'm so disappointed. So Stolen Focus was one that had like the most votes, and it does look really interesting. That's something I might put on my TBR. Then In Defense of Witches also looked interesting. I don't know, is this the same one that Mara recently read? I can't remember. Rogues. Now this is one I'm mad I haven't read yet. This is by the same author, Patrick Radden Keefe, who wrote Empire of Pain, that won the biography category last year. Now they have it separated into nonfiction, they have memoir, and then they have history biography. I didn't separate it out. So I don't know if Rogues technically would be under history or biography, but there's also one called The 90s that had a lot of ratings, Unthinkable, and then one Unmasked, which I actually did get an arc for that one, but it's, I think, about a detective and like all these different cases he's worked. That seems to be really popular as well, so that could be a good contender. And then the last one I would say, which definitely would go under memoir, would be I'm Glad My Mom Died. That's definitely gonna win memoir. Like, I don't even know any other memoirs that came out this year. Oh, maybe that dude from Friends. Who cares? This one, Jeanette McCurdy, is gonna take the cake on memoir. I don't even know what other memoirs there are, but they're just going to wilt in the wake of her success. Again, history biography, I have question mark. Debut, I'm like, I didn't even pay attention to any debut authors this year. It's sad. Let me know any debut authors and their book in the comments. That would be great. Young adult fiction, again, didn't get to a lot of this, but some of these titles, when I looked it up, I was like, very possible. All My Rage by Saba Tahir, I think, would definitely be just under YA fiction. I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston, definitely gonna be up there. This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. I don't know if it's fantasy or not. If it's not fantasy, then under YA fiction. If it's fantasy, then under YA fantasy, but I think that one will be up there. Together We Burn by Isabel Ibanez. And then Ophelia After All. I just put that on there because I feel like I've seen this author a lot on like Twitter. And so I feel like maybe they have a good reach and then their book would be nominated, but I haven't read any of those. Young adult fantasy, did Bloodmarked already come out, or does it come out later this month? Which is the second one to Legendborn. If that one comes out, that's definitely gonna be on there. Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea, I've seen a lot about that. Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. Is Gallant considered young adult or middle grade? It's V.E. Schwab, so it's gonna be somewhere, but I don't know if it was considered young adult or middle grade. I have Our Crooked Hearts by Melissa Albert. Simply, I've seen the cover so many times. I'm just assuming it was a popular YA release. But those were really the only ones that I could think of that were like big releases this year. I'm probably missing something because I don't keep up. Do I keep up with anything anymore? That's debatable. I definitely don't keep up with young adult releases as much. So again, any of these categories that you're like, hello, you're missing this obvious book, let me know down below. The last one I wrote down, because there's other categories, like I never vote in humor, poetry, graphic novel, manga. I never vote in those. But the last one I have here is middle grade / children's, because they put them together. And of course, Amari and the Great Game, strong contender. The Witchlings by Claribel Ortega came out this year, I believe. Skander and the Unicorn Thief is another popular one that I want to read and I've seen around. And then The Marvelers, I've seen quite a few people talk about those. I don't think Uncle Rick himself, did he? I don't think he released a book this year. There might be one under his imprint. I don't think he released one, because if he did, then that's definitely gonna take the cake. But those are the top ones that I think have the best chances. I'm sure there are other ones, but those are the only ones that come to mind. And so I think that's it. I don't know. Some of them I feel really strongly about. Other ones I'm like, I don't know. I'm just taking a guess. But let me know, again, if I missed any obvious books from any of those categories. Also, do you have predictions for who will be nominated and or who will win? I really want to know your thoughts If Stephen King's book is in that fantasy section with Sarah J. Maas, who do you think is gonna come out on top? And also for my romance prediction, do you think it's gonna be Book Lovers, Love on the Brain, or It Starts With Us? Colleen actually released 2 books this year, but I don't know if the other one was a romance. Category romance, I don't know. I know It Starts With Us is, because I read it. So we shall see. I'm excited to see who all's gonna be nominated and vote. And I know Mara's doing like a live, I think Tuesday night, she's gonna be doing her voting on live. So that's gonna be fun. I don't know, I just love guessing and the predictions. Again, this video, I got this idea last year from Jess from Peace Love Books, and she did predictions for just like the romance genre because that's what she mostly reads. So thank you to her for this idea, super fun. But yeah, so it's time for that end of year content, so there is more to come. Thank you so much for watching. Give this a thumbs up. My description will have definitely not all of these books linked, but if you want to find me other ways to find me on the internet, ways to support my channel, if you want to join my Patreon. But stay blessed, hydrated, moisturized, and sunscreened, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.